Hi there. In today's video, I'll be talking about taking inputs from user in Java. When writing your program, when it gets to some point in time, you might want to take some inputs from the user and manipulate it to give out certain outputs. In some cases, you might want to take maybe a name of a user, age of a user, maybe the height of a user, and a whole lot of user inputs that can be useful in writing your programs. First of all, we talk about the outputs in which is the use of system.out.print. In this program, we'll talk about using an input. Now, Java provides a class with all the necessary input methods that we'll be using, and the class is called a scanner class. So we will first need to import a package, but don't worry about the package. When typing your class, IntelliJ automatically generates the package for you. So we start by typing scanner, which is a capital letter. So you can see a C sign here, which stands for class. So when you hit on enter, you see automatically the package is imported for us, and it is java.util.scanner. So this is a scanner class, and you can name it anything you want. So let's give it a name, input, and it's equal to new scanner. Now inside here, you pass in the input stream, and it is system.in. So this is the input stream. So in this case, we have instantiated our scanner class. So we call it an instance of a scanner class. So instance of a scanner class. So now from here, our scanner class is ready for us to use. When you run this, it doesn't give us any output because we just instantiated it. Now when you want to use your scanner class, whenever you run the program, when it gets to that aspect of the program, you see the mouse pointer blinking in the console, which means it is ready for taking an input. And we spoke about the variable types that we have. We have different types of variables that we can accept. We can accept strings, which is a sequence of characters. We can accept only a character, a boolean variable, an integer, a short, a long, and the rest. But in this case, the scanner class needs to have a special method to know whether what it is taking is an integer, a string, a boolean, or maybe a character. So to do that, we can do something like system.out.print. Then we type the name of the scanner, and the name of the scanner now is input. Now any method we want, we press the dot button and or the dot key, and the method should come here. So we have a method here called next int. So the next int is small next, then capital int. So you can guess what this next int will do. It will take an integer. So let's run this and see. Now you can see the mouse pointer is blinking here, which means it is ready to take a value. So let's enter any integer value, and what it will do is it will print out that integer value for us back. So it's printed out 124. Now let's run this again this time around and give it another value. So let's give in a string now. So you can see we have an error here. It says that exception in thread java.util input mismatch exception. That means the input here mismatched what we declared here. So for next int, it takes only integer values. So let's take off this here, and let's say we are accepting age of someone. So let's say int age is equal to, then we paste this back here and bring a semicolon. So what this line does is we declared an integer variable which is age, and the age is responsible for taking an input from the user, which is an integer value. So the age will now store that integer value, and when we print out age here, any value the user will enter will be printed on the console. Let's run our program once again. So we are waiting for the age, and let's give it something like 12. So 12 is printed back for us. Now to make your code more understandable, you can bring a printout statement here that, let's say, enter your age. Now let's print this. So line 11 will work first by printing enter your age. Then we have line 12, which is waiting for us to enter the age. So let's enter 18. When you hit on enter, you see 18 is printed back for us. Now let's try that for other variables too. Now this is for age. Now let's comment this. Now let's try that for name. So to do that, let's declare a variable which is take the name and store it. But first, let's print on the console what we are taking. So enter your name. Now from here, we say string name is equal to, so we have the name of the scanner. So input dot. Now a string is a sequence of characters. So definitely we are going to take a line of characters. Our scanner is going to read a line of characters. So we do that by typing dot next line, not next string. For integer we use next int, but for string we use dot next line. Now let's print this. So after we run our program, we have enter your name here. So let's enter a name like Brian. Now when you hit enter, it says that process finish, simply because we didn't use the name here. So let's use the name back here. So this is a printout statement, an output form. Then not inside the brackets, sorry, not inside the quotes, inside the bracket itself, we type name. So the printout statement to invoke the character or the sequence of characters stored inside the name. Now let's run our program now. And we have enter your name here. So let's enter a name like Nathan. So we have Nathan printed on the console. Now, before I proceed to other variables, we have something called concatenation. Now, to do concatenation, I spoke about that in the previous videos, but I'll talk about it again. For string, concatenation is combining two different strings, or a string with a variable, or it can be a string with an integer or whatever. So you can see hello, then outside we hit the plus button and we give it the name. So inside the code we didn't enter any name, but let's run our program and see the effects it will have on it. So it says that enter your name. So let's enter our name to be Nathan. Now you see that hello Nathan is printed back for us. So take a critical look at this. We have our first line which says that enter your name, which is an output stream. Now an input stream having a data type of string storing a value name is taking an input of a new line or a character line, and it is stored inside a name variable. Now line 17 is responsible for printing out hello, and the hello is being concatenated or added with the name. So let's do that. Let's continue. So let's say enter your height. So to take a height, we should use a double here. Double is mainly used. Sorry. So the height should be stored in a double variable, which is small letters. So double height is equal to input dot. So you can see next double right here. So when you click on it, that means it's going to take our height for us. So let's print out our height. So you plus height, then give another space again, tall. So let's run our program. So enter your name. Our name is Nathan. Enter your height. Let's enter a decimal value. Now you can see that, hello Nathan, you are 23.32, so and so tall. I didn't add any unit to do. So you can do so for other variables too as well. So now let's arrange our code in a proper way. So I'm going to clean all this and arrange this in a well organized form. So let's do it this way rather. So first of all, let's declare all the variables that will be taken. So we will take name, then we take age, then we take height, then what else? Then let's take the last one, long, and let's take salary. So we've now declared our variables, and I spoke in the previous video that when you are not giving it any initial value, we call it only declaration because it has not been initialized. So let's start by printing the output for the user to know what he or she is entering. So let's say enter your name. So we don't have to bring the string again, so we just have to bring the name of the string, and it is called name. That means after this line of code, we are going to accept an input which will be stored inside the name. So name will be equal to input dot next line. Now from there, we'll take our next user input, which is age. So you can see, how old are you? And this is age, and the age is equal to input dot, and in this case it will be a next int. Now let's move to the next one. Enter your height, and height will be equal to input dot next double, and the last one now will be what is your salary, or what is your net worth. Then we say salary is equal to input dot next long. So now after getting all these inputs, we'll get the first one to be name. So let's use the output stream to print out the name. So you can see hello, then you give the name, you then you pass in the age here, then you bring old. So to print hello, take the name and place it here, you are, then the age will come here, old. Now the next one, sorry. So you can see your height is, when we pass in our height here, and we can say feet tall, and your average salary is, then the last one will be our salary. So this will now be our output stream, and this line, this line, this and this will be our input stream. So let's run our program and see. So let's start. What is your name? So let's see, John. How old are you? 15. Enter your height. So let's say 7.2. What is your salary? So let's give it something like $3,500. Now you can see that Hello John, you are 15. Okay, we didn't add yes. So hello John, we can take off this. You are 15. So let's quickly run that again. How old are you? 15. What is your height? 7.2. Then your salary? 3,000. Okay. So you have hello John, you are 15. Your height is 7.2 feet tall and your average salary is 35000. Now you can decide to add dollar sign, and this can be done right here. It will join to it automatically, and your outputs will be done for you successfully. So please take a look at this code very well and practice it. I'll be leaving the source code in the description below, and please study it very well. The next video will be talking about operators in Java, which will be including addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the rest of other important operators such as modulo and the rest. Now it is very important to learn it in addition with variables and the input and output stream in Java. So at the end of the next incoming video, I'll place a challenge, and in this challenge it will be a time converter challenge, whereby we will enter a time using the input stream, and using the operators we'll calculate, sorry, we'll enter a day, and using the operators to convert the days into number of seconds and print it out on the console, something like a time converter. But before you do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and get alerted whenever the new video is posted. Thank you very much and have a nice day.